Oh, let's officially begin. Just let me know if you guys can see me.
Yes, we can see you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so first and foremost, I just like to welcome everybody to a very, very awesome, insightful talk that we have for you guys today. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world joining us. Yeah, so welcome to the Microsoft Globe talk. It's a tech talk. So basically, we're not going to be doing anything too technical. We're not going to do anything too abstract or anything too hard. This is basically an open discussion and a conversation amongst the Microsoft student ambassadors. But obviously, I am not rolling alone. I've got an amazing team. I've got co-hosts, amazing. They're going to be telling their personal stories about obviously their journey throughout the whole Microsoft journey. So first and foremost, I'd just like to kick off and say welcome to everybody. Right. So I officially go by the name of Koketo, also known as Carefresh, and I'm from South Africa. Yeah, and as I said, I am not rolling alone. So I'm gonna individually obviously introduce my guests one by one. They will just do the quick introductions before we jump into today's topic. So I'd like to kick off and say, Bianca, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Let me introduce
Awesome.
myself a little bit for everyone. My name is Bianca. I'm a gold ambassador from Romania. I've been in the program since 2018, since the program was named Microsoft Student Partners, not Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. And I've been gold since this year. Thank you, Kokito, so much for inviting me to this to this nice event, and I really hope that we will have a great communication together and maybe even gather more people to enroll in this program because it's a nice program and you have a lot to learn.
Awesome. Awesome. Next we have Fanny. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Indeed, I'm from South Africa. I'm going to since last year, and I've joined here since 2018. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, working with a lot of people, doing exciting things, and I'm hoping that to continue doing exciting things. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Next up, I wanna call is Rishab on. Rishab, are you here? I can't see Rishab anywhere. Okay.
Hey everyone.
Oh, there he is.
How
There
are
he
you
is.
all doing?
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And let me try turning on my cameras just so that you can see me. But let me introduce myself anyways because I'm having some issues over here. Okay, all right. So hey everyone. So just like most of you, I'm also a student in my currently in my final year, and I'm also the founder and the leader of the Basecamp community, which is a small local community I have created for students which are based in Mumbai so that we can come together and we can learn amazing things. We can host workshops and you can invite speakers and do all the amazing things we do as Microsoft Learn student ambassadors. And again, like I said, I'm also a beta Microsoft Learn student ambassador, and I've been in this program from last 1 year. And trust me, it has been a really really amazing journey. Like most of the people, most of the co-hosts you see here are my friends, and we have interacted a lot of times in the past, and it has been a really amazing journey and interaction with all of them. So one, thank you so much everyone for coming, and we really really hope you have a really great time with all of us.
All right, thank you for that amazing introduction. Next up, we have Abongile. Are you there?
Hi, my name is Abongile and I'm from South Africa and I'm an alpha, so I'm kind of the youngest person here. I joined this year during March, late March, and I'm still learning and trying to learn from the best and just doing my thingy parts at the in the programs so that I can be able to also participate and contribute largely. So yeah, that's just me.
Awesome. Next up, we have Tato.
Hi everyone, I am Tato and I am a beta ambassador. I joined early this year. I'm from South Africa and I joined early this year. So I'm pleased to be here to share my experience and I hope it inspires all of y'all. Thank you.
And last but not least, you probably call him like the king of Africa. So Idris, how are you guys doing? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing so well. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, as it was rightly said, my name is Daoud from Ghana, and just like many of you, I have a strong passion of sharing my knowledge, a bit of wisdom and experience with people, and just the things that we have in common here is that we've always placed the community ahead of us. The keyword is that we started everything because of togetherness. We want to move our community together, and that's what I stand for. That's a bit about me. Yeah, been
Awesome.
around for a while. Yeah.
All right, guys. So as you guys can see, we have a plethora of guests from different parts of the country, different levels of the whole student ambassador program. But that's why we're having this talk today, is that, for some of you guys that are watching this are probably thinking that, okay, you probably interested in terms of you want to join student Microsoft Student Ambassador. What is the process? What is the criteria? And so forth. So for this one, I'm going to start with, as she said herself, the youngest member in the group, right? Abongile. So this question obviously goes out to you in terms of tell us about how did you actually start or apply for the program? Like, how did you get to know about it and so forth?
Okay. I was interested in the whole program in 2018, 2019. I was very interested, but I never really thought that I could actually qualify and get in. So I had been seeing people on my campus. I go to DUT. So I've been seeing them get into the program and doing these great workshops and initiatives and growing their skills and getting to interact with people and give them skills and resources. So I've always wanted to be a part of that. But then I was like, am I ready? Am I not? Do I meet the standards? So which finally, he's actually in the one of the panelists. He encouraged me to join and he shared the link. And yeah, so upon the link, I had to fill in my details and whatever. And the most trickiest part for me was the video that I had to do, the YouTube video where you actually have to talk to yourself and actually analyze why you actually want to be an MSLA and your reasoning behind it, so that it also kind of makes you realize what you actually want and what you aim to contribute and where you would like to contribute within the program and how you would actually go about doing it. So it kind of focuses your priorities in a way. So that for me was also tricky, but also interesting because I knew that I wanted to help, but how am I actually going to help? So that for me was something that was an eye-opener. So I submitted my application and lo and behold, I got in. So all those doubts didn't actually matter and it was really, really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So now I want to now talk to like the second years, right? So my beta people. So Tato and Rishabh, I want to bring you guys into this conversation. Is that so? You guys obviously have an experience in terms of hosting your first event that obviously made you guys become a beta member right now. So from each of you guys, just quickly tell us about what was your first event all about, right? And what was your expectations? How did it go? Was it a bad one? Was it a good one? Do you think you can actually improve on it? So actually, tell us about your role in terms of preparing for your first event.
Okay, to share a bit of my experience, I'd say not only did it start on a very jittery roller coaster ride for me, but I remember I literally had to, carry the drumbeat of my heart to facing the reality of also working with those above me, and at that time, a very inspirational mentor I saw was Mr. Fanny, Not only did he take me through the basic, logistics of how things are done, but he also, made me aware of certain qualities one needs to acquire in order to be a good ambassador. And there were a lot, I'd say, but I think the major three that I still use to be a good ambassador is, being committed, being very reliable, and most importantly, being versatile. And I feel like the versatility still lives in me, because not only did it enable me to, thrive through rash challenges, but it also, allowed me to be able to take initiative whenever things did not go right or according to plan. So from him, I learned a lot. And I feel like the people also involved in my event also played a part in, increasing my level of self-esteem. So there's one woman who was a mentor, who's a mentor at Girl Code and Woman Intake, and also one who works at a company called BDO. She further introduced me to one of their data scientists. So since I take very much interest great interest in data science, I got to be exposed into like the things that they do on a daily, got to now differentiate what would be expected of me, at a workplace, because what we do at school is different than what is expected from one at a work environment, So such things really got to, expose me to things that I wasn't aware of, at a work environment. So yeah, that was the things that I've learned from the first event.
Awesome. Rashad, you can actually share your flashback on your first event.
Lovely, I will glad to. Okay, so let me take you back to the 2020 in the month of August when I was newly got selected for the. Okay, Azmi seems to be really excited. Okay, so that was the time when I, newly got selected into the program, and I saw everyone was doing their workshops and getting upgraded to beta. And even I was looking to do one, so I can get upgraded as well. But then there was this fear, within me that how should I reach to them, and if I should go solo or if I should team up with someone. I had all these questions in my mind, and then I was also a bit of a bit of, you can say, a shy guy. So I was like having a lot of trouble into getting along with people. So yeah, it took a lot of time, and then I decided, okay, let it go. Let's do our first workshop completely solo. So what I did, I just created a poster. I just wrote some content and just shared it in all of my WhatsApp groups, posted it on LinkedIn and stuff. Like, I'm hosting this workshop. If you're interested, please join. I wasn't expecting any registrations or anything. I was just thought I will get like 5 to 6 attendees, and then I will call it a day. But I actually ended up getting a lot of registrations, and I was really surprised that people are actually interested in joining it. So, and at that time I really wished if I could have collaborated with someone, so that we could have made it even more better, we could have made it even more bigger, and would have made definitely a bit more impact. And the topic I was covering I covered in my workshop was about virtual reality. So at that time I really didn't know about if people really like this topic, or it may overwhelm them at some point. So I had this thing in my mind. So but not, at the end of the workshop I saw that a lot of people completely attended all the sessions, and they went through all the assignments, and they finally were able to like submit a project and get certificates and everything. So that was a really great experience for me. And at the end, when everyone said that it was amazing workshop, thank you so much for organizing it, that was the thing that I was like, after hearing that, it was all worth it. All the stress, all the worries and everything, all what we went through, it was worth it. And at that point, I just wanted to host workshop. So that was it. That was my first workshop. Started from nothing into like, nowadays we are hosting workshops like pretty much every single week. So you can just guess the transition that has happened
I
until
see
that point.
you're an extremely busy person. The things that you do for your community it's really inspiring, because I mean we talk a lot, and I see the things that you do on a constant basis. It's quite interesting, right? So now, obviously, guys, we've heard from an alpha member, we've heard from some betas, and now I want to introduce like the prefects of the whole program, right? So eventually how the structure of the whole ambassador program is that obviously you apply and you enter, all right, and you just become a standard ambassador, right? And then you take your first course, which is then obviously going to upgrade you to become an alpha member. So for now, an alpha member, we basically say you like the little one in the whole program, right? So now what you have to then do is get upgraded and actually host your first event, right? An actual event. So now because of the whole pandemic, we obviously have, I mean, depending on wherever you're from, whatever region you're from, you can host a virtual event or you can host a live event. And obviously that will obviously grant you access to become a beta. But now everybody is gunning to obviously become a gold ambassador. And now, obviously, as I said, the prefect of the whole program, we're gonna now talk about becoming a gold member. You know, like what does it take to be part of the elite and the basically it's like the cool kids of the block. You know, if Microsoft Student Ambassador was like high school, the gold members are like the cool kids of the block, right? So we're gonna now hear obviously about their story in terms of transitioning from becoming a beta. So obviously, I'm gonna bring Bianca, David, and Fanny into this conversation that transitioning from becoming a beta all the way to becoming a gold member, how was that transition? And obviously now that you guys are in the program, what is it that you guys have done or seen that are different from becoming a gold member opposed to becoming a beta, right? Because obviously all of us eventually I want to aspire to become a gold member one day. So yeah, so just quickly tell us about the transition from becoming from beta into gold, and now how has things been different from being a beta and now becoming a gold. So Bianca, you can actually start off with this conversation.
Yep. So a lot of people when they are entering the program are like, okay, so we have milestones. First, when we were like Microsoft Student Partners, there were no milestones of this kind. There was no gold at that time. And a lot of people when are entering in the program from different countries are like, okay, I'm alpha, I'm beta, okay, I want to be a gold. The thing about being a gold is not just about the name being gold, it's about wanting to do something for the community. The transition is not really hard, it's just all about time and investing time and a lot of patience, and you wanting to be involved in the community, doing a lot of activities, trying to maybe engage more than just your country, more countries, more people, letting people know that you are there for them. I had a lot of people asking me what it's like being a gold. It's normal, it's just a title. There are a lot of responsibilities, some extra responsibilities as well. But besides that, it's about responsibility. You need to be able to be there for your people. Not just, I started as a team leader from where I started in Romania. I started as a team leader. And it was quite easy for me to become a gold because I was doing a lot of stuff. But I wanted to, I didn't even know that I was a gold. Actually, a colleague of mine told me, oh, congratulations, you are a gold. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that. And they showed me the poster and I was like, okay, I'm a gold. I didn't expect that. I didn't actually ask for the title because I wanted to do that for the community. I did a lot of projects. MLSA at this time came from because most of my friends are in MLSA as well, and the people that wanted to be in the community lasted longer than we expected. The transition is not hard. If you want to be involved, if you want to take the responsibility, if you want to be a team leader for your community and for your local team, it's not hard. It's just about having new ideas. It's about wanting to commit to your local team. It's wanting to engage with the people, but it's not about the title. If you are starting just by the title, I want to be a gold, that's not it. You have to want to be it for the program, to want it to be for you, for your team members, to want to do something. I mean, for us in Romania, the activities are like we are engaging ourselves as friends first, and then we are trying to get as many people as possible. Because I don't know how it's like in other countries, but in Romania, Microsoft is a little bit sketched seen as a company, and we're trying to make people understand that MLSA is a great program and it's absolutely incredible in terms of scaling up as a person, professionally and personally as well, because you are learning a lot of things. So as I said, it's not hard to transition. It's just about wanting to do that and having the ambition to do it for yourself and the others in the community.
You know, one thing that you said is that it's not a title, it's a role. You know, that is one thing that you actually that made me spark because I mean, you are right. You know, someone might be thinking that I want to just get into the program because I want to reach gold. I want to just become a gold member, but obviously we're gonna still touch upon the responsibilities and as you said, it's more about responsibilities more than anything else. All right, but I really like the fact that you said it's not a title, but it is a role. Right. Thank you for your words. Fanny, are you share your story, my brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, you can.
Yes. So yeah, I'll just add to what Bianca said on the amazing thing that she was mentioning. So as I said, like for me, even I was not even aware that I was gold. I was sent that message to congratulations, you're gold. But then at the end, it was like people they see us think this is something big, but yeah. So, but then how can I put it here? It's not something big where everyone will just say like, go for it. You can go for it. But the main reason you entered into the program was for you to make.
I think you're breaking there for a second.
So let me cut the video. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So as I said, like one thing that one should, yes, put it in mind is there, but like don't just strive for it. Just continue doing what you have been doing. Because the way it happened, we've been doing what we're doing without even focusing on goal, because it was something that was recently introduced. Yes, you can aim for it, but don't make it an end goal. The end goal is for you to be able to make your community better. And the other thing around gold, it's about the impact. It's no longer about you doing the event, but what the impact that you want to leave there. So one things that I was doing again, that would have helped me even to be within the gold status was I was doing things that are quite unique, like an impact. So I remember every year what I do is I host an AI workshop for deaf students. And then one thing that I do is I invite the media to come and write about this. So that one thing to say, like, it's about the impact. And then after that, I'm a gold now. How do it's no longer about me doing events with you. It's about to say, okay, I'm gold and then I have this connection outside. Then how do I help you to get a job there? How do I help you to grow some connections, some brand businesses? How do I help you to get some contract within? So because that's how I view it. It's about the impact. And then remember, for you to be gold, you must be 1 year within a program. So yes, aim for it, but then it's one thing that should be a priority for you. It's just continue to do what you are doing within all other statuses. Thank you.
Nice. What I can definitely take from that is that you said it's not about having event after event after event. It's about impact, right? That was actually quite a very good topic, right? So, guys, as you guys can hear, we sharing really like knowledgeable, insightful news that it's not really about title. It's not about but it's all about being very much active into your communities. And as you guys can see, it's all about also the power of collaboration, right? So collaborating with people from different countries, different backgrounds, and all walks of life, right? And last but not least, Idris, I think you can obviously just fill in your amazing knowledge about just becoming a gold member.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to hear, the stories of everyone here. Mine isn't different. I think it's mostly always starts with, the zeal or the passion to help others, right? It starts with, you having the mindset to support others, right? Not just you. So immediately you have the mindset of others in mind, right? that takes the whole picture away from you to the community, because the Microsoft Learn Ambassador program is a community-based thing, right? It was brought up because of, Microsoft wanting to bring together students from all walks of life to be able to connect with each other, right? When I was in school, I used to organize events, but then when I was going in for the presidency on campus, one of my message was that I wanted to connect my local students to foreign students. So they feel that, okay, these resources that we want, we can actually get it, right? And then they get to see that what they are learning isn't different from what is being learned in South Africa. It's being learned in Romania. It's being learned in, other parts of the world, right? So bringing, opportunities very closer to them so that they are able to share it so easily was, my topmost priority. And when I had that in mind, I actually didn't have that myself, but I believed that I could give this to people, right? So it's always, it's sometimes it is all about giving help to other people, supporting them, and moving along with the community, right? When you pay attention to, what is happening around you, you would definitely be able to spot and know that, okay, if this community had this little thing, it could have improved the way we are all doing things, right? If you pay attention, you'll be able to identify the little problems that when you provide solution to can actually make things very amazing. What made me outstanding when I joined the ambassador community was that gone were the days, somewhere 2018, 2019, we're all on teams. When we all moved to teams, we're just sharing we were just like organizing events, and people would come post. People would, post that, oh, I just got sponsorship for my event, and I didn't know how to get sponsorship for my event. And this guy would post that, oh, I just organized hackathon, and I didn't know how to organize hackathon, right? And this guy would post, people were posting individual things. So one of the things that I saw missing was that people were not talking so much in terms of community. The language was singular so much, and mostly were focused on their local community, but forgetting that we're brought together because we wanted to create a global community, right? So I figured out that, okay, why not now bring together all these amazing people who are doing individual things in their community every Saturday, just like today. So we meet and then we share our story with one another, right? We nominate one person to come on, on stage, and then one person would be asking him all those sorts of questions like you're asking me today, and and share insights so that it becomes inspiring for other people to learn. So that if I don't know how to, get sponsorship, and today we have, say, Rishab on the call, and he's talking about sponsorship, then I've gotten insight on how to, get sponsorship for my event, right? So it wasn't centered on maybe one technology. It was more about, inspiring the Microsoft Learn Ambassador community. And that's where we coined the name MS Inspire Phone. It was about, bringing together people so they share inspiring stories happening in their community so that anyone at all can learn. This was a very small, sport that, I came up with, right? And we had Gomolimo, we had, Joshua, we had amazing people who had so much stories that we never knew, right? And all of them came on stage to share their story, and the community started to embrace the fact that, oh, so you could be there and people just test you, hey, can I also speak on MS Inspire? I'll be like, yeah, you can speak. But someone asks you, how do you do this, right? So sometimes it's about identifying the little help, the little support, and then thinking more widely about community as opposed to you. These are some of the qualities that truly get you to become, a great leader or a true leader for, for people, or someone that people look up to, right? Because you don't think about yourself anymore. It's not just about yourself. It's about you and other people. Now, coming down to milestone, the milestones were introduced at a later part of the community. The reason being that there were other people who were pulling strength to always come together to do stuff with other people in creating the global community, right? But there were others who were relying back, right? In order to let it become clear so that those who were pulling their weight and pulling their strength to be able to inspire the others who were relying back, there needed to be badges introduced on people so that you'll be able to see that, okay, so this guy has been awarded with good, and I want to also have that thing, have that badge, right? So badges were introduced where people who join become alpha, other people become gold and stuff like that, right? So we are privileged to be one of the first of the gold people within the community, because already we're just doing the things that the gold people like. I mean, it's not like gold was something. We were actually named to get gold. Like, they identified us and they called us right? So it's the title just came in later part of the community because there needed to be people pulling strength to get to a particular level. And I think it became inspiring with the badges, people sharing it and stuff like that. And today we are here talking about those badges. So kudos to the Microsoft Learn Ambassador team for introducing that, because I feel it's actually made the community become one of a thing. Also, there were less interactivity, but when badges and stuff were introduced in the community, people really started interacting, right? On Teams, you can actually, if you are an admin, you can check on the statistics of how people are messaging, how people are interacting on Teams under your administration. And when that was introduced, I think 6 months into it was amazing. Lots of things that we were able to achieve. So yeah, that's about milestone. But I really wanted to say is that I had a really bad internet connection. Gone are the days when they called me good. I had bad internet connection, right? I've had a very bad background. Today you are seeing amazing background here. Right? Those days, if I needed amazing background, I needed to be at a hotel. Exactly. I needed to go pay, sit somewhere and have amazing background. I had lots of noise. Like you speaking and then mommy passing or auntie passing, hey, Dawood, and it comes into the call, right? I had, I was in gold, I was in MVP, I was in a chief technology officer, I was in a board member, I had no title, right? So this is the point. You don't need to have any of this to become amazing. You just need yourself. You just need to be yourself. Find the true self, and then put community at heart. Use the word we often as opposed to I. And that truly gets you to become an amazing leader and someone that people look up to.
Wow, guys, I think he has said a mouthful and a half. I mean, and this is definitely I think it's not even about tips or guides, but this is just even like life lessons that you can actually take from people that we look up to in the program. I mean, if you guys look at individual profiles of the members we have on our panelists, they all have their own key strengths and the key strides in whatever they do. So damn guys, it's really really insightful. So now the next thing I want to talk about is I kind of want to bring a different look and different dimension into this. So obviously, by virtue of default, we all have this presumption that tech is a male-dominated industry, right? Most people we see are actually in males. CEO positions are in males. Even board members become males. So this question is actually now going out to the female panelists. So Tato, Bianca, and Abongile, since you obviously are females in tech and also going into Women's Month, which is in August, I want to kind of bring you guys in and have this conversation in terms of how has your experience been in terms of a female in the tech industry? And talk about your challenges, talk about the unfair treatment, if I should say, or a mishap that you've actually experienced in the tech space because you are a female. So Tato, you can actually kick off that conversation.
Okay, I wouldn't say, okay, it is a male-dominated industry, but then I don't think that I've experienced, such like rash, challenges in terms of, such conditions. But I'd say personally, it would go with my, having to deliver. This was also pointing out to, the type of personality that I held when I first started with the whole, journey, because I'm a very shy person, I'm always enclosed in my own world and cannot associate engage with a large group of people, especially with those above me. So I think those one of the things that hindered me was my personality, and out of that would be things like data and all, because I usually pay for my own studies, and so sometimes I wouldn't be able to host a webinar because of shortage of data and things like that. I think those are most of the challenges and difficulties that I had to face in this journey thus far.
Okay, awesome. Awongile, you can share your story.
My experience with being women in tech or within like the tech studies in general was that, and also a leading factor to me wanting to join the MSLA program was that at my university, women or girls are pretty like they've just accepted that it's a male-dominated industry and they don't want to try. Like there are some that want to try and be as involved or become developers or whatever, but they just have accepted that, okay, I'm good with documentation, so I'll just do documentation and that's it, So it's them not having the confidence or the esteem to do whatever is needed to be done or see themselves being great in the industry that they are in. So they just, I'll do admin or I'll do the documentation part, whereas they don't want to take initiative and be leaders or actually boss these guys around and say, I need you to deliver ABCD whenever I need it, or I'm going to take initiative and do the GUI of whatever application that I'm trying to build. So when they reach or graduate, then they don't look into the jobs that they're actually studying for. So let's say I'm doing applications development, they'll look for support. There's nothing wrong with support. They'll look for system analysis. Instead of you actually wanting to work in tech, you become reluctant. So my whole thing with joining this program was to actually show them that I can do it, whether I do know how to code or I don't. I can actually play a vital role within my industry and give back to people. So here I am putting myself on this platform where I'll be able to show you that it is possible to access resources. It is possible to start and finish something. And that tech is so diverse. You don't need to code. You can also do Power BI analytics if that's what you want. You can do AI, machine learning, whatever. There's this pool of resources and you just need to tap in. So that was my thing and my struggle, I guess. It was just trying to show them that you can do or be whatever you want. And it's okay. You don't need to let the guy do all the work and you just sit there and look pretty. Like there's nothing wrong with looking pretty. It's, yeah. But that was my whole challenge, was that they're not interested anymore. Even I, at some point, wasn't interested because it was like, this seems overwhelming. Everyone's just expecting me to fail, or there's always a guy who's willing to be like, okay, I'll help you, or I'll show you, without giving me the opportunity to learn it, figure it out, fail, and try again. Then I'll call you and tell you, can you please assist me if I need your help? So it's just being every person trying to walk around eggshells and thinking that I won't be up to the task, because we have this analogy or assumption that girls can't be in tech. So it's just trying to bridge the gap with the close-mindedness within ourselves as girls in tech and try to find our voice, I guess. I'm sorry.
We lost Kogetsu, by the way. So Bianca, I guess.
Okay, let me continue on this one. So there is indeed a quite weird and wicked stigma about women in tech. When I started MLSA, I've never ever had to deal with any kind of challenges because I was a woman. On the opposite, MLSA was quite happy and welcoming for the women. We have a channel, Women in Tech, and a lot of projects that are quite in that area. Instead of that, when it comes to women in tech and jobs, things are quite different because there is indeed a difference between men and female in this industry. I had to deal with it a lot of times, even when I was in high school. A lot of people were like, you want to go into computer science, you are a girl, you will not succeed, like, don't go there. And actually, I'm the only person, not girl, the only person in my class, in my former class, that actually got into computer science, and I'm a software developer right now. But female need to understand that you do not need to be ashamed of or scared of doing what you like. It's not hard. You can do it if you want it. That's your opinion. That's your job. Be ambitious, take the responsibility, and actually go on for your dream. There are a lot of challenges. We are living in a world where there are challenges. There are projects indeed that are welcoming women, and they are trying to make women feel more courageous and make us want to do more. But we need to stand up for ourselves, and we can stand up for ourselves, first of all, being ambitious and wanting to do more for ourselves as women in tech. And in the same time, we can actually try and, as hard as we can, help the other women. Like, if we have alphas in MLSA, we have to tell them that, there are a lot of opportunities for you. You can try that, you can try the other. You do not need to stand there and be like, okay, I will not succeed. You will succeed if you want it, but you need to be courageous. And I think a lot of women in MLSA had to deal with this, and they were like scared to talk, scared to kind of start events. In Romania, I was the only girl. I was the team leader from where I started, so I had no problem. I had a lot of projects where I went there and like the people were like, "Okay, where is the team leader? Because you are a girl." And I was like, "Here I am. I am the team leader. I'm a girl, but I can do it." But you can do it. It's just about being ambitious and wanting to do more and not be scared. Like, we are women, but we can do it. It's not about gender. Gender does not qualify for anything, not in this industry as well. Is Kokeso back?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I saw the
Yeah,
gap.
for
I
some
talked.
yeah, I mean, everything with tech. What can go wrong will go wrong. All right. So,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm assuming that obviously most of the people heard your guys' story, which is pretty awesome. So now that we've addressed the whole issue of segregation, if I should say, like in terms of gender, which is the male and females, right? So now I want to kind of bring more conversation into like demographics. Um, and when I mean demographics in terms of how have people from your like area really have received and absorbed the number one, the projects that you guys have done, number two, the program itself. So for instance, obviously how things in South Africa are obviously different from how things are perceived in Ghana or Nigeria or USA and so forth. So yeah, Bianca, maybe you can obviously kickstart things. Like, how has your community actually absorbed or warmed up to like the programs that you guys have actually hosted?
Mm-hmm. Well, I really can talk about this. We had some problems in the beginning of the program because our program started somewhere around 2002, I guess, the first kickoff of the project, while it was Microsoft Student Partner at that time, and it quite took a turn throughout the years. But people didn't really understand what the program is. A lot of people, when they were coming for interviews for being an ambassador, they were like, "Okay, so I'm getting a job at Microsoft," and I was like, "No, did you read the description? Is a program partnering with Microsoft. We are not doing interviews for jobs." Right now, after I kind of took the program in 2018, I tried to get a little bit of a different perspective so that people can understand that it's not Microsoft, it's not Windows, it's not Bill Gates, you know? Everyone was like, no, we do not want Microsoft, we do not want this, hackers, bugs, things like that. No, it's not about that. And people were kind of scared at first. They were like, I'm not interested, probably it's about money. And at some time, people were actually asking us for money. And
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, and I was like, no, you are getting in this program to learn for yourself, to scale up and get skills for yourself professionally and personally. And in our town, for example, in our city in Timișoara, even the professors from the university had a really, really, really bad idea and perspective about Microsoft. They were public shaming Microsoft in front of the classes, and it really got us a downgrade for our projects, because I had something like, we were giving up flyers, physical paper flyers, and people were like, okay, Microsoft. They were tearing them up and throwing them in the trash cans, and it was quite low for us emotionally, because we were really struggling at that time and trying to make it work. At this time, it's quite okay, kind of, it's getting better for people, and they're starting to understand. After we made the page, after we were trying to make a lot of activities, we actually introduced a subject at the university in my city, sponsored by MLSA, and people are easily starting to understand that MLSA is really great, and we are actually having a lot of people that are trying to get involved in the project, but we do not really have sponsors or any help from universities or other local businesses. So in terms of I don't know, papers, materials, it's quite hard for us. We cannot really offer anything, so everything that we kind of have, it's something that we can provide personally, or digital swag. That's kind of it. So it's getting better, but it's kind of hard about sponsors and things like that. I don't know how it's like in your countries. I'm really interested.
Yeah, obviously, Fanny, you can actually share your knowledge on this.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just add on the Bianca thing to say, like, people think it's a problem, because some people, especially from the perspective of businesses, if you want the partner, once they hear Microsoft, forget of getting the money, because they hear Microsoft. Why would you give a richest company in the world money to sponsor their event? So that's one challenge that we will face. But then absorbing from our university, because before now it started to open, we only had one MLSA, while it was calling Microsoft Student Partners, so which was home for the past 3 years. Previously, again, it was only one person in South Africa who was a Microsoft Student Partner until 2018, when now it started to change into open. And then one thing that we saw, especially because Homu was within our university at Durban, so you saw that his presence, the fact he was the only one, and then he was doing these amazing things. He was going to Netherlands. He was being featured in Microsoft thing, and then it created this buzz. Even if you check it now, majority of Microsoft student partners are more, ambassadors are more based in Durban and at the universities, because the way it was absorbed, and then the fact like Microsoft was supporting Homu to go outside, which is, it was making the university name good. Then the university started to throw more resources into supporting us as ambassadors. If I have even a budget within my university that can help me to conduct the activities within the thing. So it had the presence, it's been received very well, especially from the space that I'm in, and the universities throw most of resources into it, because it does help the university to upgrade their name, because the good work that we are doing, it reflects to the university. It use that as a good stories, even when now it comes to the university being ranking. So the work that we do, they are well recognized by the university, and it's used to enhance its brand.
Awesome. And then just to close off this point, Rashab, maybe you can just throw in your, your views on this. Hey, Rashab, are you there?
Am I audible? Yes, I am. Sorry for that. All right. So, yeah, like you said, colleges may not always be interested in supporting ambassadors, and I'm still facing this issue. Up to my point, the one of the reasons could be that I belong to a small college which is based in Mumbai. Although Mumbai is like famous for a lot of colleges, and some of the world's like best colleges you can say in the world, but there are like certain universities which still do not restrict do not allow students to go anything beyond the academic syllabus and curriculum. So I think that is a really bad point, and I think that should change. And regarding support and everything, I think for the most part you can say like we can rely on each other for support and help. That's what I've been doing since like last 1 year. And most of the support I got, most of the like all the help I got was basically was from other students who were like from different colleges, from different regions, and some of them are even from different countries, so they were supporting me. And my colleges, people who are I look up to like for support and all these things, they were like not at all interested in what I was doing. And most of the part they were like even they even like try to they don't even like tell other students that what we are doing, and they even like not ready to spread the word. So that actually felt really bad, and we felt really disappointing. And so that was like one of the things which I wish people could change, so we can get more support. And and it will definitely help us to expand our reach as students, and expand our reach as basically content creators, trying to like get more people involved into communities and more people involved into projects. One of the things I would like to share over here, like just a couple months ago I started a couple of community projects within my local community. And the thing is, we had to do this without informing our college. The college is probably the first thing you will definitely reach out before starting such an initiative, but in our case we had to do this without letting our college know, because if they somehow found out that we were doing these things, and they could easily sue me that you are distracting students from their studies, and you are getting them involved into unnecessary things. Although the most of the students which completed a project, and they send me feedback like it was the best thing they ever did in their entire academic curriculum. It was like they got to learn a lot of things which college couldn't teach them. So that the outcome was really good, but at the end of the day it was like a completely a student initiative led by one student for other students. And that's what so definitely, see, your college may or may not support you. Your family, sometimes your families may or may not support you. So definitely, there is going to be a bit of bias. There's going to be a bit of tension in everything you do. So, and in that case, we just have to realize that there are other peoples out there who are always, looking forward to collab with you, who are always looking forward to get to know you, and you know. Support each other. So, and this is one of the things I learned from Learn Student Ambassadors, and I'm really glad that and then I met all of you amazing people, sitting over here. So that was one of the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and I'm super glad for it. And this is just beginning. This is just beginning. We are just getting started. I still have one more year left in my college, and I'm definitely want to make sure that the things we couldn't receive as students, I want to make sure that at least my juniors who are in in younger batches. So I just want them to have all these benefits, have all this knowledge, have all this, like, the things, the perks which we personally could never have. The college never supported us. So I just wanted to make this change. So, and not just in my and not just in my college, not just in my university, around universities in the entire Mumbai, and also like basically everywhere I can, so the location is not a barrier. So yeah, that's what is just making sure that our juniors get the things we couldn't get.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
that was it.
Right. Thank you so much for you guys. So, guys, in closing, I think individually we all have learned something and all have taken a piece of something from some. So, I mean, I personally can definitely say that joining the Microsoft ambassador team, actually, the first time I applied, I got rejected. Funny enough. And then I was like, okay, clearly this is not for me, and so forth and so forth. And then the person that suggested me at the time was like, no, try again, So it's not all hunky dory. It's not, sunrises and roses and unicorns and stuff like that. So when I applied for the second time, I was like, I need to now obviously position myself and think about the most important thing is that it's all about the impact in the community and obviously being involved, right? So when I started naming those attributes in terms of this is how I want to contribute, this is what I stand for, this is, how I want to, change things and how I want to work with people, because I'm quite big on collaboration, right? So, I mean, for those who guys have known me that I work with a lot of people from different backgrounds, from different countries, from different walks of life, different expertise, and even different tech stacks and all of that. So I personally am a person, I'm very, very big on collaboration because obviously collaboration just means you bring more in a much more impactful way in broader horizons and much more different societies, right? So obviously collaboration in that sense, meaning that you are tapping into markets that you think that you never actually could be in or have an outreach in, right? So someone that's sitting watching this probably from like Australia would be like, wow, obviously I can see that there's a group of people from all over the world actually talking about something that we all kind of passionate about, something tech at the end of the day, right? So guys, I think we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot throughout this whole talk. So in closing, right, I want obviously everybody to chip in into this kind of conversation. And I'll ask this like, obviously one by one is that from today, what is it that you actually want to like achieve personally? And what do you want to actually see achieve in your community, right? So whether it can be your local region, your country as a whole, but you as an ambassador and as a panelist, I want you to actually just share your, 5 minute conversation in terms of where do you now see yourself? What more impact do you want to do? And obviously, what words of encouragement do you have for people that are watching this that are thinking, are they still doubtful to join the program, and stuff like that? Yeah, so just obviously share your personal insight on that. I'll start off with Abongile.
Hi. My 2 cents to give to anyone would be just do it. Like, it doesn't matter, you'll figure it out when you're within the program. But if your intentions are pure and you are currently embarking on a journey where you want to be more skilled, have more resources, like compete with anyone from any standards, like the program actually gives you an international standard, as you said, with people from different organizations, countries doing the same work, accessing the same resources. So if you're able to have that, it puts you in a position of me and my learning paths. It's to put myself in a position where no company has no right to tell me that we can't hire you because you don't have the experience, you're not exposed to this environment. This actually gives me a platform where I can do my Azure fundamentals, learn Power BI, do data science or whatever. That way I cannot get any rejections. So if I do, I know that the problem is not me, it's them. So definitely that. And in terms of getting into the program, just do it. You may not be confident doing it, as most panelists have expressed that they do suffer from challenges, they have self-esteem problems, whatever, but just do it and you'll thrive. eventually you'll hit the ground running and no one can stop you because there's people in gold and they're still keeping up the momentum. So just start. Just start. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's my 2
Start.
cents.
You can jump on. You can hop onto the band. We can hop onto this one.
Okay, I personally I think that it's a good idea, right, to be part of the program itself, because not only does it give you like the experience, right, to work in a group or interact with other students and other Microsoft leaders, but I feel like it also equips you with a lot of leadership skills, and I personally think it's very much like fulfilling, right, to teach other students such skills, because it also enables them to reach their career goals and so forth. And that's why I think that it's a good idea. You're not missing out. You are actually missing out a lot by not joining in the program. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Funny, your last words, my brother.
Okay, perfect. No, okay, to try to get your question, so the way forward, for me, the way forward is, especially to everyone, is who within the program, think even beyond the program to say which space are you want to be within. Are you want to be employed at Microsoft? What are the things that the channels that you can start to use to prepare yourself? Because you see a lot of people around us that are getting employed within Microsoft. If you want to start your business within around Microsoft product, go out there and start it. That's my own focus. It's about how one start a startup that delivers some Microsoft product. And Microsoft now at the moment, they offer, like, you get an opportunity to write a lot of certificate for free, which it can cost close to 100 US dollar for you to write them. And you might need to write 5 of them, but Microsoft give you for free. So the most important thing is for everyone who's in alpha, beta, just to use those opportunities, write those certificates. They give you an edge even when you go to start your business, because you might be easily become Microsoft partner. Or if you want to go and work, you might want to go and get the job easy. Because there's a guy we were doing a Someleze now. He's employed at DUT. We are employed together. And then how we got employed there is because it's through Microsoft. We learned Microsoft Power Platforms. We wrote certificate, and then we submitted a project, and it was approved. And then, so those are the opportunities that don't just view in doing these activities, but then do beyond it. How do I start to self-sustain myself and build a wealth for my family, as much as you give to the community? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Rishab, any last words from you?
Awesome. So the first thing I would like to say in the beginning, whatever you do, even if it's like a community work or if you're just speaking in front of a couple of people, it's always going to be hard because you have no idea what reaction you may receive. You have no idea what you are going to say, they may like it or not. So there's definitely going to be a phase where you will feel like really unconfident and you will feel like you cannot, you cannot keep up with this. You just want to quit. You just want to let go. This is not for you. There is going to be this phase, but I just wanted to overcome it. It's just this fear inside us which holds us back every time we try to do something which nobody has ever done. And it is the fear like a lot of people are not able to overcome. So I just wanted to just try it one time. Just try it. Go ahead, fill the application. You may get rejected, you may get accepted. It doesn't matter. What's more important is that you just keep trying, you just keep pushing, and even if you fail, you can always reapply. There is no there is no criteria that you can only apply if you never got rejected. There is no such criteria. You can apply as many times as you want, so it doesn't matter if you get rejected or not. And even if you get rejected to this program, there are so many other programs which allows you to do the same. So it's not just about Microsoft communities. It's about communities to communities that, like, there are so many initiatives you can be part of. So it's not just about getting into a particular program or just getting some extra benefits to help yourself. It's about making an impact, just helping others, and making sure that your community gets what they deserve. Your community gets what that's how you will slowly realize that this is where you belong. This is the family you will belong. This is the people you belong with. So I just highly encourage you to go ahead, fill that application and submit the video and everything. And I cannot wait to see you as an ambassador in just whenever the results come up. So yeah, best of luck to everyone, and thank you so much.
Can we hear from you?
So personally, I always will recommend MLSA, and just as Rishab said, not MLSA particularly as a program, but any program that you think that it's quite close to your soul, something that you feel that will scale you up personally and professionally. And for the people who maybe were scared or thought they're not good enough for the program, just apply. Just apply, because probably you will get in, and you have so many things to learn from this program. I've seen a lot of people evolve. I've seen a lot of people grow. People that were so shy of talking in public speaking. They couldn't even, they were so good technically, they were so good, but they just couldn't keep up a tech talk because they were so scared. And throughout the program, they really scaled up, they really grow, and they grew amazingly. They had a lot of things. And I really think that this is the kind of program that not only scales you up, but you can actually make a lot of friends. It's not about titles, it's not about roles, it's not about benefits. It's about you trying to learn something, trying to make a family, and trying actually to do something for your community. It's, at the end of the day, you will be really grateful for yourself and for others that actually tried and helped you do something, an activity that, and you can see the participants that are really happy and they're giving you amazing feedback at the end of the day. And they're smiling, and you see them on the camera smiling. They're like, okay, I learned so much. I couldn't learn this from school. This is amazing. And it's free. We are trying to give this free for the students that maybe do not have the money or the opportunity to get this from other ways. So really apply for this and try your best to keep up with it.
Awesome stuff. And last but not least, Dawood, you can obviously just tell us about your experience.
Yeah, so I think it's been wonderful. I'm so grateful to hear the amazing stories and all the great stuff from all of you. Just like everyone said, I think the key takeaway here is that failure is a strength. You may see lots of titles, lots of places that people have gotten to, but maybe you don't see, like, on their status or their titles, it's named that they failed 10 times, right? When I was in university, I failed 4 courses, and I want my story to inspire people, right? Right now, I've employed people that may be in first class and whatever, it doesn't matter, right? It's about architecting how you want your life to be, right? When I was about to fill those courses, I knew that those are prices I need to pay because I was doing extra amazing stuff that people weren't doing. Half of my time was dedicated to teaching people, right? Saturdays, like we are talking right now, would have been the days where about 10 people would come into my room. I bought chairs, I bought tables in my room, like my bedroom, in school. And I bought tables and chairs where people come sit around, and then I'll teach them for like 2 hours. And they will go, another batch of people would come, and I'll teach them. This is the way I used to live my life on Saturdays. I barely had food to eat, right? I need to get maybe some drinks and stuff so that I won't be keeping students waiting when they want to learn from me, right? So failure, it's a great strength. Don't undermine it. Maybe you would want to become the goal, you would want to become whatever, but I just need to tell you the truth that you are not going to have it all sweet. Things are going to go wrong, and you need to be prepared for it. Once they start going wrong, that is where you have to, now start to acknowledge that you are making progress. Because if you're not hitting, the wrong things, the wrong obstacles, basically means that you are not doing something right, right? I'm not also saying go find things, to go wrong, right? But yeah, failure will definitely hit you. And also, you need to find strength in the things that you don't have. For example, I knew that I'm from a very bad, network zone. I need internet to be able to connect. But that never became the barrier or the limitation for me to connect with any of you, right? Trust me, there were times if Salman and Co would say, I had to go stand at the football field where there's more noise, but that's where I could get my best network, best internet connection at the football field, so that I could talk to them or so that I could hear them. So mostly I'll be on mute and I'll be like, okay, Salma, you know what? Take in charge. Be talking. I'll be at the background. Because I didn't want to miss the information they are giving, but also I want to, I want, to still keep the program running. So I would better find someone with better internet, like someone sitting in UK, like Salman, to talk. So I'll be at the background and then listening, right? And then maybe typing and chatting that, hey, let's not forget to say this, right? So you need to, find strength in the things that you don't have. You don't need to have everything to get started. So that's my point there. So one, failure. Two is that you are limited by resources, but you are limited by resources because nature or God wants you to succeed. So prepared, to be successful. I think mostly I want people to know that they are amazing, right? Regardless, you are amazing. There is some sort of personality built into you. You came into this world to make things better. So never ever think that you are a burden, or maybe you don't have so much resources. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are, whether you are in Africa, America, wherever you are, you've got this and you can do it. And this is what I want, my future to look like. This is how I want, the future to look like for people, is that they find strength, they get inspired, and then they always, keep going. Finally, I'm working, so mostly it's about, helping people get financial inclusiveness. People should be able to access financial resources, and that's the fintech industry, and that's mostly what I've been so much focused about from now to the future. And for many students, like I said, is to get them to be inspired to do and achieve more using AI, using code, and also using design, UI, UX. Yeah, so that's it from my end. And yeah, you guys should just know that there are tons of resources from the global AI community, AI gaming, and all those stuff that you could use to empower yourself.
All right. Well, man, look at the time. The time really has flown. And there's a plethora of questions we can obviously go back and forth. There's many other topics we can touch on, but obviously there's only so much time we can have. And I want to personally thank everybody that actually joined the call today. It's really, really refreshing just to hear like different voices, different opinions, different backgrounds about, things that you really care about the most. And obviously the one thing is that I've taken off from is that we always see plugged into a global network, and we all want to contribute in some way or another, leverage from one person's strength to another. All right. We spoke about your strengths, we spoke about weaknesses, we spoke about opportunities, we spoke about downfalls, we spoke about everything that actually entitles when it comes to not only, and as you said, not only as the student ambassador, but also looking deeper within yourself. Is that at the end of the day, individually we bring our own strength, we bring our own personalities, we bring our own flavor into this whole thing that we call a global impact. So as I said, it's been really, really amazing. It's been really humbling. Thank you so much for everybody that actually took their time off to actually tune in. I know it's a Saturday, so but I'm really hoping to have more of these tech talks, in terms of just hearing about, you know, journeys. I mean, the next time we have something like this, it'd be really cool to like have this panelist and like all of a sudden we all gold members, or we all like working at like global companies and so forth. You know, I mean, I personally I'm very grateful for the opportunity. You know, it has opened some amazing doors. I mean, individually, you know, from Rashad, Bianca, Dawood, Fani, we've really worked on personal projects that we've also collaborated on, opened other doors for other people, you know, at the end of the day, because we're not only trying to look for ourselves, we're also trying to obviously impact and bring other people into the space. You know, it's not, I mean, there's someone out there that does not know anything about tech, that doesn't know anything about code. It's not only about you have to be technically inclined to join such a program. You know, there's other forms that you can join in, non-technical talks. There's things like, you know, yeah, all of that jazz and stuff. So as I said, guys, it's really, really, really been amazing. It's a topic that we can obviously go on and on and on and on about. So personally, Abongile, Tato, Fani, Dawood, Bianca, Rishab, thank you so much, so much, so much, so much for taking your time to actually, you know, share your story, share your journeys, your personal, you know, your goals and your failures. You know, some were not easy, some were difficult, and so forth. So to the people watching this, please, 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 you know, take this not as tips or guides, but just take this as a reflection in terms of, you know, we really want to encourage you guys to, you know, I don't see anything bad in actually, you know, joining Microsoft. I haven't had anything bad. I haven't seen any downfall, but I can only say good things. And I'm not even trying to be biased, or I'm not even paid to say things like this. But I mean, you know, you'll be part of a very global network. You are making new connections. You are opening more opportunities and so forth. So I really, really, really do encourage that everybody that, you know, do take the time to, you know, apply. And also, guest panelists, please make sure you drop your details in the chats so that everybody can obviously get in touch with you guys personally. If there's any questions, people from your countries can definitely make sure they get a hold of you. So please make sure that you guys follow us on your Twitters, the Instagrams, the LinkedIn's, and we are very much active people. We are also here to answer any of your questions. Guys, please do not be scared. We are also here to help you, right? We are here to help your journey much easier. Some journeys were traveled alone, but you right now don't have to travel this road alone. I mean, there's a lot of people that can help you. You know, there's a lot of influence that a lot of people can bring in terms of your personal journey. So yeah, in the chats, guys, please make sure you follow all of our details and so forth. The recording to the link will also be available. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing event. You know, it's been such a pleasure co-hosting with everybody on the panel. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. We really, really do appreciate the support. As I said, please don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. If you've got questions, we are here to help you and so forth. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the session is officially over. We'll definitely have more sessions like this in future. So from my side, all the way from South Africa, thank you from, you know, representatives from Romania, Ghana, South Africa, India, and all over the world. And yeah, this is me just saying that please do take care. Obviously, take care of yourselves, guys, and keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. And yeah, don't forget to connect with us. You know, we'd really like to share your stories, tell us more about us if you want to collaborate, if you've got ideas. We're also here to obviously execute all of them. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just say take care. And until we meet again, stay safe, God bless, and take care of yourselves. Peace.
Sweet, well done.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice week.
See you.
Yeah, bye. And Asmi, it was nice connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
meeting
don't
all.
worry.
Hey, Bianca.
I'm
bye.
gonna be more active
Ciao.
now
Bye.
as well.
Yeah.
See you.